Hey friends, Cole here. Thank you so much for joining me today on Kola Beach outside of Aganda in Goa in India. I really like the ring of that. But today just going to do a short sequence for strength. So we'll hold poses a little bit longer. Just really stay close to your breath and have fun. So let's get started. Standing at the top of your mat. Have the heels a little bit apart, the toes are together, and pressing into all four corners. And maybe to realize if you're doing that or not, you can come back on the heels, come forward on the toes, and come to the left and to the right. And then you'll be able to gauge center a little bit more. So pushing down with the feet, pulling up through the crown of the head as if there's a string attached and somebody was tugging it up just slightly. Extending in both directions. Palms face forward, belly in and up. Connecting with the breath. One full inhale. Full exhale, sigh out. Inhale, open the eyes, arms up. Exhale, hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers. Roll the shoulders down and back. The fist comes down towards the ground. And I also want you to pull the fingers apart. Not actually pull them apart, but going that direction. So it's an isometric action. You can feel the chest broaden here. Feel how that activates even the core. That's what we're wanting. Begin to bend in the knees. Sit back into chair pose. So a little more weight in the heels here. Again, bring the shoulders down. They like to creep up by the ears. Pull the belly in and up. And see if you can sink a little bit lower. One more inhale. Exhale, begin to straighten the legs as you forward fold. Bring the belly to the thighs. So however much bend in the knee you need to bring the belly to the thighs, go there. So it can be quite generous. And hang, still having a slight tug apart with the fingers. Belly still moving in and up. Maybe sit bones go a little bit higher. And begin to sit back into the chair. Release the arms. Arms come up, chair pose. So we want space around the neck. So maybe if you want to open the arms up a little bit more to give you a little bit more space here. Again, shoulders down, the back. Sink a little bit lower. And inhale, straighten the legs. Let's clasp the hands kind of into Charlie Angel's mudra here. Pull belly in and up. We're going to come into warrior 3. So we'll put the weight into the right leg. You have a slight bend in the knee. We begin to tip the torso forward as the left foot comes behind. The foot is flexed. Let the left hip and the left pinky toe be heavy, so that'll help to square the hips. If this is too much with the arms, a modification would be to bring the hands to heart center. Pull belly in and up, just like in Tadasana. One more inhale here. Exhale, begin to bend the front leg. Reach the toes back. Crescent lunge. We're still in the mudra here. You can bend the back knee. That'll help to square the hips a little bit. Beautiful. Let's release the arms. Open up to warrior 2. Sink the hips low here. And make sure that the front knee isn't coming in, that it's in line with the toes. Shoulders down and back. Pressing evenly into both feet. And let's take the elbow to the knee. Left arm comes up and over, side angle. Hips are still sinking low here. Belly in and up. And rotate the heart towards the ceiling, towards the sky. And a slight pull back with the right hip. See how that changes things a little bit? A tendency is to let the bottom shoulder come up towards the ear, so create space between the shoulder and the neck. One more inhale here. Exhale, sink a little bit lower. And inhale, keep the bend in the knee as you reverse the warrior. And now straighten the front leg. Send the hips back. Torso comes forward, moving into triangle pose. If you want to step the back foot in a little bit, you can do that. We want to keep length in between the ribs and the hips on both sides. So we're not collapsing here, we're reaching with the crown of the head. Hand goes to the leg, the floor, a block. Fingertips reaching in opposite direction. And again here, like in side angle, heart spirals up towards the sky. Next, inhale, lift the torso up. Sink, warrior two. We're going to square the hips towards the top of the mat, back into crescent lunge. Again, Charlie Angel's mudra. We're going to come back into that warrior three. So begin to tilt the torso forward. Stand into the front leg. Come into warrior three. Again, you have the option to bring the hands to the heart. Pull the belly in and up. That'll really help here. And pulling back a little bit on the right hip will help to square as well. One more inhale. Exhale here. And inhale, arms go up. Left foot meets the right. And exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Let's separate the feet. We'll take a forward fold here. So about a little more than about hips distance is good. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, slight bend in the knees as you fold forward. And let's take the peace fingers, grab the big toes. Inhale, halfway lift, find length from tail to crown. And exhale, elbows go out as you pull torso in towards the knees. You can bend the knees as much as you'd like. Notice my shoulders coming up by my ears. I want to bring them away. So in this case, we would be lifting the shoulders. We're upside down. It gets a little confusing. Just as long as there's space in between the shoulders and the ears, elbows are coming out, and you're actively pulling in. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, pull in. Again, lifting the shoulders away from the ears. Take the hands to the hips. Inhale, gaze forward, and lifting all the way up. Toes come back together, just like we started, a little space in between the heels. Shoulders down and back, finding mountain pose. Belly in and up. Notice the difference on one side of the body to the other. Beginning to just become aware of the different sensations. Fully exhale. Inhale, lift the arms up. And exhale, hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers. Roll the shoulders down and back, heart forward. And again, that's that activation of pulling the hands away from each other. That pulls the scapulas towards each other. And notice the sensation of almost as if you could squeeze a lemon between your shoulder blades. We'll feel this again in Warrior Two. Begin to bend the knees down. Sink the hips back. Keep the activation in the upper back. And the hands pulling away. Belly in and up. Inhale. Exhale, send the hips high as you forward fold. Belly comes to the thighs. Hands drape over, shoulders away from ears. Chair pose, sit back down. This time hands come up. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, sink a little bit lower. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, sink a little bit lower. One more round of breath. Inhale, straighten the legs. Take the Angel's Mudra. And we'll come into Warrior 3, standing on the left leg. So slight micro bend in the left leg. Reaching forward. Right toes heavy, right hip heavy. Again, you can take the hands to heart center. That gives you more space. One more inhale. Exhale, bend the front leg. Step back into crescent lunge. Bring the arms up. You can bend that back leg just a little bit to square the hip. So pulling left hip back. One more inhale here. And exhale, open up, Warrior 2. So feel the same action of pulling the scapulas together that we did whenever we had the hands behind the back. Pulling in, squeezing lemon between the shoulder blades. So notice that you can squeeze in at the same time that you reach out. There's equal opposition here. Pushing evenly through both feet, pulling belly in and up, and bring the heart a little bit more forward. Gazing over front fingers. Maybe sink a little bit lower. And bring elbow to front knee. Right arm comes up. So long line of energy from fingertips all the way down. Pull back a little bit on the left hip. And spiral heart open. Maybe the top pinky finger is a little bit more heavy. And to have a little rotation, shoulders down and back. Reverse warrior, slowly bring torso up, all the way back, inhale. Exhale, begin to straighten the front leg. We'll move into triangle, so if you want to adjust your stance and move up a little bit, slight micro bend in the front knee. Torso forward, hips go back. Hand comes to block, shin or floor. Hands reaching in opposite direction. Again, spiraling open the heart. And visualizing space between the hips and the ribs on both sides, so lengthening crown forward. Head can go up or down, so listen to your neck, what feels good for it. Next, inhale, lift torso up. Exhale, Warrior 2. We're going to turn into crescent lunge. So parallel the hips, square the hips with the top of the mat. Charlie's Angels Mudra. As we begin to bring the torso forward, coming back into Warrior 3. Flexing the back foot. You have a slight cobra in the back. Shoulders away from ears. Inhale, bring the torso up. Right foot meets the left. And exhale, hands to heart center. So let's open up here into goddess pose. Bring the toes out. Heels slightly in. Bring the hips low. Bring the hands to heart center. Begin to sway side to side here. Just getting into the hips, opening up. Pressing fingers into the other fingers, hand into hand. Maybe bringing arms out. Again, the shoulder blades coming together as you reach out, this equal opposition. Heart comes forward, a little bit more broadness, shoulder to shoulder. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten the legs, bring the arms up. And let's bring the toes in now, heels slightly out. Bend the knees a little bit. Send the hips back, forward fold. So different variations you can do with your hands. They can come in between the feet. You can turn them around, walk them behind you. But pull the belly in and up wherever you are to pull the torso in. And bring the shoulders away from the ears. Pressing evenly into both feet. This is an active pose. Did I say breathing evenly? Pressing evenly into both feet. I don't know how you breathe into your feet. That would be impressive. And bringing the hands to the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, coming all the way up. Let's go ahead and bring the feet back together here. And let's just come into mountain pose. Just like we started, toes touching heels a little bit apart. Belly in and up, shoulders down and back. Eventually, all these cues will kind of run in your own mind, and your body will get familiar to where they just begin to adjust themselves. So sometimes it may seem like a lot to be patient with yourself as you're learning, as your body is creating a relationship with these poses. Pushing into the feet, lifting up through the crown, feeling expansive. Bringing hands to heart center. Thank you all so much for joining me today, sharing your practice with me. And remember, sometimes it just takes a little bit of love. Keep coming back to your mat. We bow forward and say, Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me. Head over to my website, coldchanceyoga.com, to see what else I have going on. I have lots of retreats and some journeys that you could come and join me on. And please subscribe to our channel. You'll get videos twice weekly from wherever we are flitting about the world. I will see you next time. Thanks for joining us at Om Yoga Tribe.